So in answer to Councillor Vick, I'm suffering from a temporary hearing problem at the moment, so I can't hear anything in my right ear. And I just want to test whether or not Councillor Vick is suffering from a more permanent hearing problem. Because this is as Councillor Vick heard, because he was at committee, the discussion of the committee was to stick with the wording of the sign, in that the police are entitled to have appropriate discretion in the implementation of this order. They made it clear at the committee that their intention was to enforce an order where an individual or a group of individuals, whether or not, whatever type and whatever calling from society they come from, they are both in an intoxicated drinking state and are also causing problems for other people, or are intent on doing so in their judgment. They may also be, to use a word that Councillor Vick used earlier in the debate, they may be doing what they've been doing for the past 10 years in the case of some groups, and that is intimidating local residents and preventing them from making a peaceful use of a park, which the majority group on this council are determined to make an impact on, to win back the public spaces which are precious and few north of Mill Road for the benefit of all, and that means all.
There is no dispute about the fact that the behaviour he describes would be illegal, was illegal, and will be illegal. But that's not really what we're talking about here of public spaces protection. I agree roughly with his description of what was said by the police at committee, that people not creating any kind of problem would be perfectly free to continue consuming alcohol. But the question that's being asked here is, why can't he reflect that in the notice that has been is about to be posted? The notice says, and I quote with a big symbol supporting this, "No alcohol. You are prohibited from consuming alcohol or having an open container of alcohol." That's what it says. And it's inconsistent with what the police said at committee, that people would remain perfectly free, unless they were creating a problem to other people, to carry on consuming alcohol in a peaceable fashion. What I'm asking about is how he thinks it's fair and reasonable to people not creating a problem to others to effectively intimidate innocent people not creating any antisocial problem by putting this notice up which doesn't discriminate between one and the other case.
Councillor Pitt knows, because he's got the sign in front of him, that he selectively quoted from the sign. And the sign also says that a police constable or a police community support officer may, in such circumstances, take away alcohol from people or require them to stop drinking.
Which circumstance?
Well,
You're going to get one guy.
Councillor Vick is selectively quoted from the sign. If he would actually have bothered to read out the whole sign, then he would have given the council a more accurate reflection of the empowering of the police in these circumstances. Councillor Vick has used the term Kafkaesque. Councillor Vick has used the term intimidation of people. We have made the point that we don't expect the police to intervene where someone is peacefully having a drink on some of those locations. So if Councillor Vick wants to spend the next couple of years debating this particular sign, then that is his choice. The police will intervene in what is the real intimidation, Councillor Vick. If you've been to some of these spaces and seen the activity, if you've realised the problems that you left unresolved because your administration actually blocked East Area Committee from doing anything, if you'd realised any concept of localism that you keep giving us lectures about, when you actually stopped an area committee doing something in this area, then you'd realise that the local community, the parents of the children at Petersfield Green, the dog walkers in the cemetery, the older people who've got a lawn of their own, which they haven't been able to use, I've yet to hear you express any interest in them at all, which is why a point was made earlier on that people in Petersfield wonder who you actually care about. There is a balance in this, and We do not parade a view that any member of the local police service is part of some kind of Kafkaesque state Stasi police. They are thoughtful neighbourhood police, and they will implement this order in a considerate fashion, and they will use the second part of the notice that you failed to.